بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My respected brothers and sisters, welcome back to Yo Show Ask Eman, the show where he gives you the opportunity and the platform to pick up your phone and call us live in our studio to ask us any question in regards to your deen bi'idhnillah on 0203 515 0769. That's 0203 515 0769. And for those of you brothers and sisters who prefer to send us your messages, please remember you can do so inshallah by the detail that you see on your left hand side of your screen bi'idhnillah. Brothers and sisters, we are live streaming on Facebook, so if you do want to watch us on social media, this is the platform that you need to use, inshallah. If you do have any question, please drop it down in a comment, inshallah, and we can ask that question on your behalf, bi'idhnillah. I'll be your host for the next hour, Mahmoud Yusuf. With me, I have my beloved Shaykh, Shaykh Wasim Kempson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Hayakum Allah, Shaykhana wa bayakum. Shaykhana, subhanallah, I know, and I'm sure that a lot of people probably did know that as well now, that you just came back from the blessed land, which is Mecca, and you performed the Hajj. May Allah accept it from you, inshallah. Shaykhana, I'm not going to ask you to give us a reminder in regards to Hajj, but maybe the experience that you've actually gained from it, maybe that's something that we can benefit, inshallah. So, bidhnillah, Shaykhana, maybe you can benefit us from that, inshallah.
Bismillah walhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. All praise belongs to Allah Jalla wa ala, and may the peace and blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be upon His final messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters and viewers at home. So I just came back today, actually, this morning.
MashaAllah, tabarakallah.
So we're getting straight back into things, alhamdulillah. And I'm happy to do that, to be honest with you. So I ask Allah Azza wa Jal to accept from us all.
Ameen.
So where to start, really? Subhanallah, Hajj is an amazing journey, and you see amazing things. You see Muslims from all corners of the globe come into one city to fulfill the pillar of Islam, worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you see so many different things.
Sure.
What I would say is that I managed myself, and each time that Allah Azza wa blesses me to make Hajj, alhamdulillah, I'm able to see how Hajj affects people, seeing it's their first time. And sometimes I've seen people where they performed Hajj once before, and then they come for Hajj again. And you see what it means to them to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's something that really touches the heart. Really, it's quite an emotional thing.
Sure.
Especially when you're preparing them and you're speaking to them, looking forward to the day of Arafah, and you try to encourage them to go all out, to maximize their efforts and dua on this particular day, to have good thoughts about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to really exert all of their efforts in making dua on that day. And the days building up to that, if you give the reminders and you give lectures and things like that, you can see you're building them up.
Yeah.
And you can see the changes, and you can see that they're asking questions. Am I allowed to do this? And should I do this? Can I ask for this? Can I ask for that? And then on the day of Arafah, when it comes, and then you see them one by one, they're trying to find a space just to, between them and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just to make dua. And not that you're looking at people, but you just see how each person behaves on that day, looking and searching for Allah's mercy. And as the Prophet ﷺ told us that the essence of Hajj is the day of Arafah, and you see, I was quite close, and I don't want to go for too long because there's so many things to mention. But I was near the Mount of Mercy. Not that you need to go there. You can go anywhere on Arafah. No. But I was close to the area, and there was an Algerian woman next to me, and she pulled out her phone,
right?
But not to take a picture.
Okay.
She pulled out her phone, and she rang her daughter. And she said, Ya binti, oh my daughter, I'm standing here on Arafah. Tell me what you need. What is that you need? I'm going to make dua to Allah Azza wa Jal so that He gives it to us. And I could hear the daughter saying, I couldn't really understand what she was saying. No. But then after that, the mother was saying, oh Allah, grant her security, sahha, give her health, bless her children and things. And the daughter on the other end of the phone was crying.
SubhanAllah.
I mean, it was really a very, very emotional moment. It was just to the right of me.
Right, right.
But it was like, if I can give an example, you know when you're in the supermarket and you have all the foods and you have everything there in front of you.
Right.
And then maybe you call your family, you say, I'm in the supermarket,
What would you like
what
to
is it that you need?
Yeah, yeah, subhanAllah.
It was like this woman was in a place where she had such conviction to say to her daughter, tell me what you want, tell me what you need. Because Allah Azza wa Jalla will give it to us on this day.
SubhanAllah. You know, I was about to say that because I was waiting for you to finish and I was saying, SubhanAllah, the fact that she's asking her daughter, what is it that you want? As if she's ensuring herself and her daughter.
I'm here, Allah Azza wa Jalla will answer us on this day.
Naam,
and then she's making dua and then she begins crying uncontrollably.
Wow.
You know, if you wanted an example what the day of Arafah is about, that really kind of, in a nutshell, is what it should be about. That is, you're calling upon Allah Azza wa Jal and you have the conviction and certainty that Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala will answer your supplication without any doubt. Subhanallah.
Allahu Akbar. Barakallahu feek, Shaykh. And I'm going to come back to Arafah, inshallah, but we have a caller. So that reminds me of a few questions I'd like to ask you in regards to Arafah. So, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Ask Eman, to our caller.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. You're live and Ask Eman. Sister, what is your question?
My question is, you know the halal nail polish? Can you like wear that and pray or not? Like,
No.
is it actually waterproof?
No problem. Do you have any other question?
No, thank you.
Barakallahu feeki. Yavana, Shaykhana.
Yeah.
The halal nail.
Yeah. I remember a few years ago, one of my teachers, he said that, you know, a time will come, and it had already arrived at the time actually.
No.
He said that, Allah preserve him, that a day will come when a person will put something like a halal stamp on something and just assume that they can trick people to something that it is halal. He said a day will come that you'll see on the package of fish, halal fish. When fish is halal in the first place.
No.
Anything that comes from the sea is halal for us, but people still want to put halal fish for us. So just because somebody puts a stamp of halal on it doesn't mean that the product is halal.
Right.
Now, with regards to this, I don't want to call it halal nail polish because it is legitimizing that it is halal.
Right.
But what it is this porous type of nail varnish that claims that you can wear it and at the same time perform wudu, and then your wudu is valid. What is the issue? Well, ordinary nail varnish is a barrier between your nails and water.
No.
So therefore you would have to remove the nail varnish for your wudu to be valid.
Exactly.
The claim is that this type of nail varnish allows water to go through the nail varnish, and then there's not a problem.
Right.
The issue with this is that the different types of nail varnish that allows water to go through, it takes a long time for the water to go through.
Right.
It doesn't happen instantaneously.
Sure.
Okay? So therefore, these nail varnishes are doubtful. If you want to give it any form of ruling of anything positive, it's doubtful. So therefore, you should refrain from using such nail varnishes when performing wudu. It would have to be removed, and Allah Azza wa Jalla knows best.
I'm just wondering if it's a sealer, even though they're trying to prove that it's actually water, it's not water resistance, but surely for it to stick into your nails, it needs to be some kind of, in some ways, it has to stick somehow. So how would that be waterproof? Not waterproof. Then?
Yeah, porous. It's called, so there are certain liquids or certain materials that water, because the structure of the product allows the water to go through eventually. It's not like something is completely watertight.
Like waterproof jackets, apparently.
Like this.
They say there's waterproof, but yet again, if you put so much water, it does go through.
And then you find jackets which are shower-proof.
Right.
So it allows the water to go out just for a little while, but will eventually seep through. This type of nail varnish, if you like, the water may go through, but maybe after 5 or 10 minutes. No one's under the tap for 5 or 10 minutes making wudu.
Sure.
So therefore, you should avoid using this particular nail varnish. Allah knows best.
Barakallahu feek, Shaykhana. I can hear the phones are still ringing. I'm not quite sure if I can ask you any question. Brothers, is the phone ready? Okay, let's take the callers, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Ask Eman.
Hello, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to yourself and Shaykh Wasim Kempson.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brother. What's your name? Where are you calling us from, brother?
Hamad Tariq from Birmingham.
Hayakallah, brother Hamad. How are you today?
Alhamdulillah, how are you both?
Alhamdulillah. Good to hear you, bro. What is your question for us today, inshallah?
First of all, I will take few seconds to congratulate Shaykh for the Hajj, and Alhamdulillah, he's coming back, and wanted to thank him especially because I was lucky. I got hold of him twice, and he
MashaAllah.
kindly made a dua for me.
Alhamdulillah.
Number one, I want to request him again to continue making dua for me that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses me with more righteous children.
Bidhnillah.
And the question I have is related. It was basically one question, but now I have two questions, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
First question is that I heard from somewhere that some people say that even on the fourth day of Eid, Adhiya can be done. So whether there is any evidence in the Sunnah of Rasulullah.
Okay. Alayhi
The second question is that if a person is alive and he has property in his name, so if he wants to distribute that property, does he have to distribute amongst the whole family members, i.e. parents, brothers, sisters?
And this individual is alive, right?
During the life, yes.
Okay.
Or does this rule only apply after the death of the person?
Okay. No problem. Barakallahu feek. طب Shaykhana, in regards to the first question, Qurbani be slaughtered after fourth day of Eid. Can that be done?
Yeah. So the days of Eid during the days of Hajj are up to the 13th of Dhul Hijjah, which technically is the fourth day. So if one wanted to offer an udhiyah up until the 13th of Dhul Hijjah, which is the fourth day of Eid, that is fine, inshallah ta'ala.
طيب خير inshallah. We got one more question from the brother, but we have 40 seconds or less than 40 seconds now. So I'm going to have to ask you after the break, inshallah, Shaykhana. Brothers and sisters, please remember to join us after the break, inshallah, where the brother did ask in regards to be giving out, I'm assuming, your inheritance, right?
There's some gifts, how the rulings of giving gifts when you're alive.
Yes. So inshallah, we'll be able to answer that for you, inshallah, after that break. And I know there's a caller waiting as well. Please be patient, inshallah. We'll be able to take your call after that break, inshallah. So join us after that break, inshallah, from me and the Shaykh for now. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My respected brothers and sisters, welcome back to your show, Ask Eman, the show that gives you the opportunity and the platform, inshallah, to pick up your phone and call us live here in the studio, inshallah, on 0203 515 0769. That's 0203 515 0769. Brothers, inshallah, do we have a caller waiting? So let's. Right, we have a caller, inshallah. Let's take this caller before I know the brother's probably waiting for the second question, inshallah. We'll get the answers for you, bidhnillah. So let's take this caller, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Ask Eman.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Shaykh. I've got a question on car insurance.
Car insurance?
Yes.
Faddali, go ahead.
Is it permissible to pay car insurance monthly instead of yearly? I know there is a difference. If you pay monthly, it's a bit more than when you're paying for yearly, but is it something permissible in Islam?
Right, okay. Sister, I got a question for you, inshallah, just in case the Shaykh wants to clarify more or give you the correct answer. You are able, let's say, for example, you are able to pay for it. You want to know, can you go for option number 2, and that is to pay in installment? Is that correct? Or you can't afford it?
Installment is a lot easier for me at the moment than paying the full amount. Right,
so that's why I want to make sure, because sometimes people can afford it, but they rather go for the option number 2 because they want to save their money and pay elsewhere. Okay, I'll get that clarified for you, inshallah. Do you have any other question?
No, that's it.
Barakallahu fiki.
Assalamu alaikum.
So, Shaykh, before we get into this car insurance, we talk about inheritance from the brother that was saying it was a gift. Was he still alive in properties?
Yeah.
Now, he wants to know, how does it actually work? Does it work the same way as when you actually pass away, or is it different opinion?
Okay. Bismillah. So regarding irth or inheritance, that has specific rulings as to its distribution after the person has passed away.
Right.
And this is not something that any one person can then overtake to distribute the wealth, saying, right, we're going to distribute like this and that and the other. Or the deceased, for example, says, I'm going to prohibit or stop a particular member of my family, like one of my sons, receiving any money. They're not allowed to do that. The brother's asking about gifts, hadiyah, and this has different rulings completely. Now, as the brother mentioned, I think he said he has a house, or let's say a house, or any, or even you had a large amount of money and you want to distribute that to your family members. You are not required to distribute it as it is distributed according to inheritance laws.
Right.
Okay. So what are the rulings? So if you have a number of children, the ulama have, some have said that if you're going to distribute to your children, it's similar to that what you would give in inheritance.
Sure.
So as Allah Azza wa Jalla says, لِلذَّكَرِ مِثْلُ حَظِّ الْأُنْثَيَيْنِ, that the male would have double the share of a female. Other ulama, and this seems to be the stronger view, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, اِعْدِلُوا بَيْنَ أَوْلَادِكُمْ, that you should be just and fair between your children. Okay, so if you find that your children are all of a similar financial state, then you give them equal shares. You shouldn't really choose one of the children over the other.
No.
If you find one of your children, for example, has done particularly well, he's doing very, very well, then you may want to explain to that particular son or daughter that you would like to help the other sons and daughters financially, and that, alhamdulillah, you have done well, but I would like to give them the opportunity, and you can explain to him like this. So you can maybe give more to some children as opposed to the other one if you explained it to them.
Sure.
Because maybe they were financially more secure than others. But ultimately, gifts, it is up to you how you give your gifts.
Right.
But you try to be as just and fair as you can, and Allah Azza wa Jalla knows best.
And Shaykh, if you don't explain to them, yet again, you want to give, for the same reason that you just explained, knowing that the individual is more comfortable than the others, are you in the wrong for not explaining to your son or your daughter why?
Yeah. So the purpose of explaining to your children specifically, as opposed to not explaining anything to them, is that you don't want to be seen as choosing some of your children over the others. And this may, that some of the children are saying, why are you being unfair to me?
Exactly.
So am I doing wrong? Well, if you cause fitna between your children, then you've done something wrong. So from wisdom, I would say it is highly advisable for you to explain these things to your children in the best way. And I'm not just necessarily talking about your children. Maybe it's your mother and your father that you would like to give, which is an obligation of you to support them and help them. but to explain to everybody in the best way, and Allah Azza wa Jalla knows best if it's necessary.
Barakallahu feek, Shaykhana. We have another caller. Let's take this caller, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Ask Eman. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
You're live on Ask Eman. What's your name? Where are you calling us from?
My name is Hisham and I'm from Bangladesh.
MashaAllah, brother Hisham. How are you today?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing well, and I hope that you're also doing well today.
Barakallahu feek, bi'idhnillah. What's your question, inshallah, for us today?
Recently, quite some time ago, I came across this man about YouTube who has been narrating about these dreams that he has been having over these 2 decades. He has been claiming that Allah and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has been coming to his dreams, like they came in his dreams like 300 or 500 times. And he has also mentioned that he has seen futuristic events in his dreams, some of which have been mentioned in the hadith. And so if you can speak in this issue.
Right, I didn't quite understand.
How we should deal with this fitna.
Habibi, what's the question?
So I don't know how to deal with this issue, whether I should believe in this man or ignore him. Recently, he has been talking about Shaykh, that hanging pictures in our home, and that watching movies about false gods, all these are forms of Shaykh.
Okay, khair.
I seriously don't
Very
know
clear.
how to deal with this fitna. If you can just talk about
Jazakallahu khair. Barakallahu feek. طيب Shaykhana, we're going to go to the second question that the sister, or the question the sister asked before the caller. We'll get the answers inshallah as well, just in case our brothers and sisters think we're just hanging it up. But no, we'll get it answered, but from what we understood, because there's few things there which is not clear. And yet again, if he is clear, there's certain things we cannot discuss here. So Shaykhana, the sister was asking in regards to car insurance, and the car insurance is asking, is it possible or is it permissible Islamically for me to go for installment payment, or the one you pay every month for your car insurance instead of paying for the annual one?
Okay. So with regards to car insurance, because it's a type of transaction, how it is set up here, that Islamically it's an invalid transaction. In that, it's not saying invalid, but it is a haram type of transaction. But due to the necessity of one having a car, the ulama have given, and this is well known to everybody,
right,
the fatwa to take out what is necessary for you to insure your car.
Right.
Now, for you to insure your car, you can do it in one of two ways. You can pay it in one go, which is usually cheaper, or you can pay it in installments over 10 or 12 months.
Right.
And they usually add a little bit more to that because it's being paid over a period of time. If somebody is able to pay it in one go, then not only are you saving money, then you avoid further issues with regards to the increased rate at some form of interest rate.
Right.
So if you're able to pay it in one go, and I'd say that's preferable. If, however, that you are not able to, number one, that you just simply don't have the money, or secondly, it brings out a big hardship on you, then it is permissible for you to pay it in installments. Wallahu a'lam.
طيب بارك الله فيك شيخنا. We got one more call inshallah. Let's take this call inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Ask Eman. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
You are live on Ask Eman. What's your question?
So brother, we just had a newborn baby boy, alhamdulillah.
Congratulations.
Born on Friday. Jazakallah khair. And I just wanted to ask what the etiquettes were of welcoming a newborn baby, especially when he's a boy. Do we have to sacrifice 2 sheep? I don't know, I've heard that some people will say that.
No.
Another question related to that is there a specific time that we should circumcise him? Is there anything in the Sunnah about that, or do we have freedom to do whenever?
No.
And lastly, we haven't actually thought of a name yet, so any suggestions from the Shaykh will be welcome as well.
I can give you that name. Wasim.
You can say Mahmoud.
Astaghfirullah.
Khair inshallah. We'll get the answer for you inshallah bidhnillah.
Jazakallah khair.
Barakallahu feek. I bet the brother thought I'm going to say my name, but no. طب شيخنا, congratulations to our brother inshallah for his newborn son. يتربى في عزه inshallah. Shaykhana, the brother wants to know, obviously, let's cover all of it in one.
Sure.
So that is, what is the sunnah, what that we should follow when one has a newborn baby?
Naam. So firstly, I ask Allah Jalla wa Ala to bless your son, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make him min as-salihin, make him from the righteous people.
Amen.
And allow him to be a servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to benefit the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and all families who have new children, and may Allah Azza wa Jal bless them all.
Amen.
So there are certain etiquettes that mashallah we should try to adhere to with the newborn baby. Some of them are thabit, some of them are established from authentic sunnah or hadith of the Prophet alayhi wasallam. Some practices are with regards to some of the hadith are not necessarily the strongest authenticity, but some of the ulama have recommended still as a practice. Like giving the adhan in the right ear of the newborn baby. If it's not been done, then you should do that inshallah ta'ala. Also, which is good, is something called tahniq, and that is the chewing of a small amount of a date, and then with your finger just placing it, a very, very tiny amount, in the roof of the mouth of the baby, which will encourage a sucking motion, and then and then that baby will be able to feed from his mother, or her mother, in a good way. Also, with the boy, as the brother rightly mentioned, the Prophet ﷺ recommended that 2 sheep be slaughtered in an aqiqah, and then that food is then prepared for guests, as a charity for people as well. Also, the shaving of the head, this can be done on the 7th day, or the 14th or the 21st day. As with regards to the specific time of circumcision, there isn't something, Allah knows best, authentic to specify a time. Some of the ulama have said on the 7th, 14th or the 21st. But what I would say is to seek medical advice on this, because with regards to babies, depending on when they were born, it was an early birth or a later birth, maybe they're a strong baby, they're a weaker baby. Seek medical advice on this, and those doctors who are professionals, and they will give you good advice as to the right timing with regards to circumcision, but not to leave it too late, inshallah ta'ala.
Okay. In regards to slaughtering the meat, boy or a girl,
yeah,
how many is for boy and how many is for girl?
Yeah, so we find in the authentic sunnah that 2 sheep is for a boy, and 1 sheep is for a girl.
And does it have to be sheep? Could it be goat or could it be cow?
No, not a cow. No, it is either. It can be a sheep, or it can be a goat as well. That's fine. With regards to names, we know that the Prophet ﷺ, that the best names are Abdullah and Abdul Rahman. And any other names which have Abd, like Abdul Hakim or Abdul Wahhab or Abdul Aziz, these are good. Or names of the prophets. With regards to the prophets, Muhammad is a beautiful name, Ibrahim is a beautiful name, Musa is a beautiful name, great prophets, alayhim salatu wasalam. But choose a very good name that son, inshallah ta'ala, can take forward, and maybe can take some benefit of that name in his future. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam.
I did recommend Wasim, so it's up to you, brother. So brothers and sisters, join us after that break, inshallah, for more Ask Eman. For me and the Shaykh for now, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my respected brothers and sisters. Welcome back to your show, Ask Eman, the show where you gives you the opportunity, inshallah, to call us here in live in our studio and call us in regards any question in regards to the deen, bi'idhnillah, on 0203 5150769. That's 0203 5150769. And for those of you brothers and sisters, you can continue so, or you can continue doing so, inshallah, by emailing us or WhatsApping us, inshallah, the question that you want us to ask on your behalf, bi'idhnillah, on the details that you'll see on your left-hand side of your screen, bi'idhnillah. Inshallah, we're going to continue with more of the callers, inshallah. So let's take the next caller, inshallah, brothers. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Ask Eman. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sister, you're on live and Ask Eman. What's your question for us, inshallah, today?
Yes, brother. I have two questions. My first question is, my sister just had a baby on the 8th day, baby boy.
Okay.
Hello, assalamu alaikum, brother. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, sister. Go ahead.
Yes, I've got two questions. My first question is my younger sister. She had just had a baby boy on the 8th day.
MashaAllah, tabarakallah.
Yes, and they want to name the baby, and the name they chose, they be confused with the spelling. And if you can help me with the spelling, and Shaykh, please.
Spelling
they want to name him Zakaria, but it's a two-way, and which way is the proper way to spelling Zakaria?
No. So that's number one. What's your second question?
Second question, I've been twice, alhamdulillah, Hajj and Umrah.
Alhamdulillah.
When we go to Hajj or Umrah, how many times, like some people say you can do tawaf many times you like, long as you do your Turahat Nawafal, and then you can carry on to another tawaf. But what is the sunnah way that we can do the tawaf? Is it best to do one tawaf at a time, or we can do more than one?
This is for Umrah, right?
To me, please. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. طيب شيخنا, طواف around the Kaaba, what's the sunnah, recommended sunnah to actually do? Okay. And can you do more than 7?
Mumtaz. So if a person goes to Mecca for the purpose of Umrah or Hajj, upon completion of your Umrah and your Hajj, then it is allowed for that person to perform Nafil Tawaf as much as they like. Tawaf will always and only be 7 circuits around the Kaaba.
No.
And after you have finished going around the Kaaba 7 times, you perform 2 rak'ah after the tawaf.
No.
Now this 2 rak'ah that is performed after the tawaf is recommended for you to do. If you don't perform that 2 rak'ah, maybe you forgot. Like a brother during the Hajj I just performed, a brother said, I forgot to perform 2 rak'ah after the tawaf.
No.
The tawaf is valid, it is accepted 100% inshallah ta'ala. But it is recommended, as the Prophet ﷺ told us, that with every tawaf there is 2 rak'ah to be performed at the end. If at all possible, behind Maqam Ibrahim.
Why is it Maqam Ibrahim? Why specifically Maqam Ibrahim, Shaykhana?
Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells that we take the Maqam Ibrahim musalla, that you take the Maqam of Ibrahim as a place of prayer.
No.
This is mentioned in Surah Al-Baqarah.
No.
So therefore it is a recommended place, and the Prophet ﷺ secondly also used to do this behind the maqam of Ibrahim, pray 2 rak'ah. So you can do this multiple times. So you perform tawafs, go around 7 times, and then you perform 2 rak'ah, and then you want to do it again, you're entitled to do that. So when I say the sunnah is to do as many good deeds as you can.
No.
And performing tawaf while in Mecca is something highly recommended. You can't do that anywhere else.
No.
Okay? You can give charity anywhere, you can give nafil salah anywhere, but tawaf you can't. You can only do in Mecca. So I would recommend people performing lots of tawaf as they can. I know when people go to, for example, Mecca, I want to perform multiple umrahs.
No.
Okay, well, there can be you can discuss this on a one-to-one, on a depends on the situation. But tawaf, yes, for sure. This is something that you do regularly, as much as you can. So, and Allah knows best on this issue.
Why is tawaf recommended, Shaykhana? I mean, we know for Umrah is part of the Umrah, but any, like you said, nawafil, if you want to do tawaf, what is the ajr behind it? What is the reward?
Well, we don't have a specific, like a hadith saying that if you perform a tawaf, then you get this reward. Allahu a'lam, don't anything about that. But as we know, that the Prophet ﷺ told us that at-tawafu kas-salah, that tawaf is like prayer.
So that's why in Makkah, whenever you enter the masjid, you don't do rak'atayn. You don't do two sunnah prayers or sunnah prayer to.
That's right. But your tahiyyatul masjid, if you enter the haram, is your tawaf.
Subhanallah.
Except that you are allowed to speak during the tawaf. No. So and you have to be in a state of wudu as well.
Of course.
While you're performing your tawaf. But this is something, as I mentioned, can only be done in Mecca, so you should try to do it as much as you can.
And again, Shaykh, I know I asked you in regards to Maqam Ibrahim, why do people perform behind it?
No.
Now, where he specifically is actually standing now.
Yeah.
This was exactly where he was standing for years, even the Prophet days.
Okay, yeah. So during the time of the Prophet ﷺ, the Maqam of Ibrahim actually was not in the place that we find it at the moment. The Maqam of Ibrahim is actually very close to the Kaaba. But during the time of Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, that he made a decision to bring it further away from the Kaaba, because obviously a lot of people were performing 2 rak'ah behind the Maqam of Ibrahim, and at the same time a lot of people were making tawaf.
Sure.
So he saw it fit to move it further away so that people could perform the tawaf, and people could use this area to perform the 2 rak'ah behind Maqam Ibrahim. But I want to make a mention here, and I saw this a lot during Hajj.
Yeah.
It is absolutely packed during the Hajj.
No.
To the extent it can be quite dangerous if you're not looking where you are walking. You could fall over.
No.
Now, it is sunnah. It is recommended for you to pray 2 rak'ah behind the Maqam of Ibrahim. However, if you don't find space, then you can pray anywhere in the masjid. And in fact, it's preferable, better for you to pray somewhere else, as opposed to cause harm to Muslims while performing tawaf.
No.
Okay, but some people see it as they're insistent. I have to perform the 2 rak'ah behind the Maqam Ibrahim, even if I'm praying in the middle of about 10,000 people, causing a danger to people. This is something you should avoid.
And you don't have to put nothing in between you and you're praying. When you're praying to the 2 rak'ah behind Maqam Ibrahim, do you have to put something in front of you where no one actually cuts you?
A sutra.
Because obviously sutra doesn't actually happen in the haram, generally speaking.
Well, to be honest with you, generally, any prayer that you offer, based upon what the Prophet ﷺ, if any one of you prays, then let him take or her take a sutra. So whether you're praying behind the Maqam Ibrahim or anywhere else, it is recommended for you to take a sutra. It could be a person, it could be a pillar, it could be a wall, but it is recommended for you to take a sutra even though you're praying that 2 rak'ah. Wallahu a'lam.
Barakallahu feek, Shaykhana. Let's take our next callers, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum, welcome to Ask Eman. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
You're live on Ask Eman, sister. What's your question? Go ahead.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I have 2 questions. The first question is, by the way, I'm Sarah calling from London.
Hayakallah.
When Fajr is at 4:17, let's say, can I pray my Sunnah right after it, or is it, as a lot of people are saying, that you have to do it before the Adhan? Let's say the Adhan is at 4:17 a.m., but I don't get to pray it exactly on time or before. Can I still pray my Sunnah before the Fajr?
Okay, go ahead, Shaykhana.
طيب. So with your example, that the entering time for Salatul Fajr is 4:17. Now, whether the Adhan goes off or not, whether you hear the Adhan or not, the time for Fajr has actually begun.
No.
So maybe quite often you might find a sister, she's maybe praying at home.
Sure.
So once the time for Salatul Fajr comes in, it is then recommended for her to perform the 2 rak'ah sunnah before Salatul Fajr. The 2 rak'ah of Fajr is not prayed before the time. So you wouldn't pray, for example, at 10 past 4 in the morning. This would be the night time, Qiyamul Layl. It would come as, as a night prayer. So if you want to fulfill the 2 sunnah, which is better than, as the Aisha radiallahu anha narrates, better than this dunya and everything that it contains, then you ensure that the 2 rak'ah is prayed after the entering time of Salatul Fajr.
Sure.
Is that clear, sister?
Does that answer your question?
At 4:20.
Yeah,
right?
If you want to pray at 4:20, that's absolutely fine. You want to pray at 4:18, that's absolutely fine, inshallah.
Oh, that's good then. Oh, the other question, really quick. My dad died a year ago, and the pension.
May Allah have mercy on him.
Jazakallah. And the pension of his 35 years of work is being taken by my stepmom, who was married to him for 10 years. My mother, who was married to my dad for 26 years, also had haqq on the pension, but she said, because he died, I don't want to have anything to do with it.
Right.
And the pension should be divided with the 2 boys and the girl and the widow. But the widow is refusing that because she's saying the government gave it to me and therefore I don't care about the Sharia or anything. So what is the Sharia on that?
Okay, so I don't know all the facts with regards to the situation, sister. But in general, there's a couple of points I can mention. Number one is that, let's say you find a man, he was married to a woman for 25 years, and then they separated. There was a talaq. And then he remarried, and then he passed away. And then whatever money he has at the time, or any money that is due to him after that, is then distributed to those who are able to inherit from them. So if he or divorced and has an ex-wife, the ex-wife is not entitled to any of his inheritance or anything, any wealth that was due to him after his death, because there's an official break between him and her in the Sharia. I'm not sure if this point actually helps the sister kind of clarify the issue, but what it says that if there is any form of dispute concerning this issue, is maybe to take the issue, inshallah, to a person of knowledge, and maybe further details can be given, so the rulings can be given accordingly. Wallahu a'lam.
Barakallahu feek. Shaykhana, let's take a next call, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Ask Eman. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
You're live in Ask Eman, sister. What's your question for us today, inshallah?
Yes. My question is regarding the ghusl. If the ghusl is wajib on you, so can a mom feed a newborn baby if she needs a tahara?
Right. Okay. No problem. Barakallahu feeki. So, Shaykhana, you probably come across this question, so I didn't want to clarify more into it, but go ahead, Shaykhana.
Yeah. So it's very important for us that when any Muslim is in a state where ghusl, the full bath, becomes an obligation for them, and there are different reasons for that. Maybe, for example, a woman, she finishes her dawra shahriya, she finishes her monthly cycle, or she had a relationship with her husband. Okay, so she requires to have a ghusl. Does this prevent her, if she's in this state of janaba or spiritual impurity, it stops her from feeding her child? Not in any way, shape or form. And a person who claims that you cannot feed your child is speaking without knowledge. This is nothing from Islam at all. There is nothing preventing a woman feeding her child in a state where she needs to have a full ghusl. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is best.
Khair, inshallah. Barakallahu feek. Shaykhana, brothers and sisters, please remember that we're going to go for another ad break, inshallah, where I believe right now, Maghrib, Shaykhana?
Inshallah.
Maghrib adhan now. So, brothers, join us after the adhan, inshallah, for more Ask Eman. If you do have any question, please remember to pick up your phone and call us on 0203 5150769. That's 0203 5150769. And for those of you brothers and sisters who wants to send us your messages, continue doing so, inshallah, by email or WhatsApp. From me and the Shaykh for now. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My respected brothers and sisters, welcome back to Yo Show Ask Eman. The show where it gives you the opportunity and the platform, inshallah, to pick up your phone and call us live here in our studio on 0203 5150769. That's 0203 5150769. If you do have any question in regards to any Islamic question, inshallah, or any personal question that you want to ask, inshallah, in regards to the deen, please remember to pick up your phone, send us an email or WhatsApp, or you can call us bi'ithnillah in our studio here live, bi'ithnillah. Do we have any more callers, brothers? No more callers? Okay, inshallah. So we're going to go with our first question via WhatsApp. SubhanAllah, we didn't ask any questions via WhatsApp today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make rats?
Rats? Why did Allah Azza wa Jal create rats? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the universe that submits to Him. And we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us that there are things that praise Him. وَلَكِنْ لَا تَفْقَهُونَ تَصْبِيحَهُمْ. However, you do not understand or comprehend the way that they make tasbih. Now you may see rats as a pest, and that they are min al-fawasiq, no doubt that they are from the types of animals that would be permitted for you to rid yourself of them, if it means killing them, because they can bring about, some illness, disease and whatnot.
No.
But Allah Azza wa Jalla didn't create things for no reason, for nothing, without any benefit to them or for others. They have their existence on earth, and fundamentally we understand that whatever Allah Azza wa Jalla created, that there's a hikmah, there's a wisdom behind that, whether we understand that or not.
No.
Well, what's the benefit of cockroaches, for example? A person may say cockroach serves no benefit to any human being.
No.
Like, okay, maybe you see it as that, but we know that Allah Azza wa Jalla, anything He created, subhanah, is from hikmah, from His wisdom. Tabarakallahu ahsanul khaliqeen. Glory be to Allah Azza wa Jalla, the best of creators.
No.
Allahu Akbar.
The reason I'm still giggling is the first question about WhatsApp, and that was it.
Yeah.
Let's go to our first call. Our next call, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Ask Eman.
Hello.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
You're live and Ask Eman. What's your question?
Oh, brother, I have primary school children.
Naam.
So one's 8 and the other's going to be 11 soon. My concern is that with Isha Salah being quite late, so sort of past their bedtime, is there any way of working around that? Because we do try and, get them to do their 5 daily prayer Salah. During summer holidays, it's been okay because they tend to go to bed late.
Yeah.
But with obviously school opening again soon,
Right.
we work around that, or would especially the one that's turning 11, obviously it's going to be further in,
Sure.
soon, and we're just trying to get him into the habit. So, how would we kind of manage that?
Right, I've got a question for you, sister. You're saying Isha is going to be difficult for them to stay up because of sleeping time, right?
Yeah.
Are they able to wake up for Fajr though?
Fajr, that's some days they can, some days they don't want as soon as they wake up.
No. So this is the two main prayers that you actually should be concerned about.
Yeah.
So let's ask the Shaykh.
I mean, it's obviously Fajr starts quite early still, but winter time it's fine. They're able to get up.
Right. Inshallah. So I'll get that answered for you. Inshallah. I'll answer it for you. Inshallah. Do you have any other question?
Another question, actually, Brother Sin. Am I able to ask?
Of course you can. Go ahead.
What time? I was going to ask. Recently, I went to a talk of a well-known motivational speaker, let's say, and basically, everyone in my family respect him very much. There was one question I had in the actual lecture. He actually came down to the women's section to greet them.
Right.
Now, I'm not sure how that sort of fits in with the permissibility in terms of, kind of engaging with the opposite gender without any mahram present, or is it okay because it's in a public, let's say in a public hall with, various members of public there?
So when he comes down, you're talking about like he comes to you and asks you to ask the question that you actually want to ask him live?
Well, he came to greet us, so to give us
to greet, okay. That's clear. Okay, I'll get the answer for you, inshallah. Barakallahu feek. Jazakallah khair. طيب شيخنا, in regards to if you have children and they're going back to school and you got them to the habit of praying during the summer, and you do not want them to miss Isha because Isha is getting later, obviously. But we know during the winter is going to come closer.
Yeah.
But right now, what's the best way of tackling this?
Okay. So currently, I think Salat al-Isha comes in around 9:45 in the evening.
Yes.
So looking at the dates, you've probably got another couple of weeks
No.
Before school starts. So then you might find that Salah comes down to maybe 9:30. So yeah, if you've got an 8-year-old, keeping them awake until 9:30, maybe it's a little bit late for them. I can understand that. And then maybe for another month or so, it might come down then to 9 o'clock or before 9 o'clock. So we're looking basically a month or so.
Yeah.
That is there any kind of dispensation or any situation where my 8-year-old, it's very difficult for them to stay awake because it's going to affect their schooling. Now, first and foremost, we should understand that the Prophet ﷺ said, "Murru awladakum ala salati bis-sab'." You should encourage your children to pray from the age of 7. Okay, and this is a haqq, this is a right that they have over you, they have over the parents.
No.
So may Allah bless the sister for wanting to know what is best to how to instill the salah, the prayer in the life of her children. And I would recommend all brothers and sisters to start from the very young age, and don't wait for them to become teenagers and then start telling them, oh, you've reached the age of puberty, now you need to start praying, and they're not used to it. Follow the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ and encourage them to pray from a very young age. So answering your question specifically, seeing that Maghrib is obviously, let's say 8:15 or something like that, then that's not an issue. If it's difficult for them to wait for an hour and 20 minutes, if you can leave a little gap at least, if you can leave a gap of 15-20 minutes, if that's at all possible, then no problem, you can do that, inshallah ta'ala. The obligation of the prayer is not on them because they've not reached the age of puberty. So you can leave a little gap after that, and then they can pray Salat al-Isha, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best.
Barakallahu feek. طيب Shaykhana, in regards to I went blank there for a second. In regards to the second question from the sister, in regards to
the speaker.
The speakers, yes, in regards to the speaker coming down to them to greet them, meet them and greet. So is it permissible? It's like, what's Islamic ruling?
Yeah, so, it's difficult really for me to comment specifically on the situation because I don't know the dynamics of what happened, how it happened. I don't want to comment too much on it, to be honest with you. But if somebody feels uncomfortable, I would say that I'd go to the organizer and they may say, listen, I felt a little bit uncomfortable about how that was done, so that maybe in the future, maybe it can be arranged differently.
Sure.
But if there was no issue, then maybe they can leave it. Allah knows best.
Jazakallah khair. Shaykh Anna Mel, would you brothers and sisters join us tomorrow for more Ask Iman from me and Shaykh for now? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.